Hey guys, what's going on? We're gonna be doing Jailhouse Blues today, again, for the probably second of 3 times. So I'm gonna make a bunch of stock ones, or rather 27. I realize I don't have that many get-around blues. I only have about 66. I think that's how many keys are in the Womir, and I think I lost a few of them. So there are 2 in the Q1 right now, and there are, I believe I have 2 piles of 27. So let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. Boom! All right. So I'm going to do this in the assembly line method. This actually might not take that long. So hopefully, these switches don't work that great with this opener. You have to still separate them a little bit. But these switches predate the opener by, honestly, a pretty substantial amount of time. So it's all good. I guess I'll just kind of create piles. So I'm going to open them all first. Switch these. Open them all first. Separate them. I'm going to try to keep the springs on there. I'm just going to do J spacers, no ball bearing mod, and no lube for now. I did get some more films, so I'll be able to do, next week my plan is to do this again, but with lube and film, so that'll be fun. I've actually been fairly excited about this. This is, you know, these aren't like amazing switches, but they are unique, you know, and even if something's not amazing, if it's unique, that's enough for me to be interested in it, you know, at least for a little while. It's a great sound. Keyboard hobby is all about sounds. That is a good one. That's one of the good ones. I guess I'll play some music. There's kind of not much going on. I noticed in my last time I played music on stream, the video got nuked by copyright. But some of the really heavy stuff I was playing was like either not well known enough to be picked up, or it was so just like low tuned that it wasn't even being detected as music. So we'll try that. No. Fuck. I uploaded a little YouTube short yesterday of like when the in-video links at the end of a video like cover a part of the end of the video and you can't read it or whatever. But I titled the video "I fucking hate when YouTube does this," and I think because it had the F word in the title, YouTube age restricted the video. I tried changing the title, but the age restriction didn't change, so I probably would need to re-upload it, but I mean, it was a 51-second video, it's not that important, so whatever. Feels bad, man. Fuck. Whatever. Okay, this would be a lot better if I didn't have to separate these by hand. Of course, get-around blues. They managed to make one of the most simple aspects just a little bit worse, you know. Fucking springs, man. So I gotta take these apart, take the clip jackets off of the stems, put the J spacers on, put the clip jackets back on, and then reassemble. Shouldn't be too... There's not really any fine movement involved in that. Putting the J spacers on is actually quite easy. So that's all good. Let me open the window a little bit. That's a little better. There was a picture on Reddit that's been being posted a lot on Reddit. It's like that Knights of the Round Table meme. I hate saying oh it's like that meme, but you know, it's like a bunch of knights all putting their sword on together in the middle of a table, and each of the knights is like labeled as a different thing, you know. And it was like basically every type of hobby that your typical male is going to be into: PC gaming, cars, knives, guns, and then all meeting together in the middle by making poor financial decisions. And you know that the keyboard hobby is dead when Mechanical Keyboard Guys was not one of the knights in that picture. And the keyboard hobby is not dead, but it's definitely seeing a decline. But I mean, it grew so much during the pandemic that, you know, you can't. It's not. Nothing will grow forever, especially not at that rate. And at the end of the day, you know, these are just keyboards. All you do is type stuff with them, and, you know, maybe play games. Which, I mean, playing games is like you're using it even less, I think. You're not even typing full words at that point. You're just... but, forgot. Oh, fuck. I accidentally hit the desk. Table. What's the difference between a table and a desk? Like, alright, let's just kind of move these. Okay, now for click jacket extraction. So, you kind of have to, come on. There we go. You kind of have to, you see there's like just little plastic tabs, little brackets in there. I think, yeah. It doesn't look like it's going to come off, but I mean, it is just plastic, so it'll bend. It can bend without breaking, so so don't be afraid to just kind of force it. Yeah, there you go. This actually kind of hurts because you're stabbing the stem pole into your thumb while you do that, but sorry, I got calloused thumbs. Just gotta do it on the right part. Yeah, I've got a lot of calluses on my hands. Thumbs come from knives. I actually don't have a good example. This one's alright. When you having to, is actually not a good example, but as you can see, the lock bar has texture on it, so doing that constantly will hurt your thumbs after a while and or cause like calluses. Oh, here we go. This is a much better example. But the worst is thumb studs. So you're pressing against this, and then you also have to break the lock. This knife is actually pretty smooth and like, you know, very easy to just open like that. But some thumb stud knives, you really have to like. And almost all my friends who aren't knife guys, they're just like, dude, how do you do it, dude? I'm like, it takes, only the real men can do it. And then, you know, weightlifting calluses. I've had these since I was in high school. They kind of went away on this hand, but they've gotten a little worse since I started going back to gym. And then, of course, my fingertips are all fucked up from playing guitar. I don't really play bass anymore because my bass is broken, but if you play bass with your fingers, which I used to do, then these fingers will be fucked up too. But only these fingers for me are fucked up. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but my hands are all fucked up because of all the skills I have. Ah, fuck. Okay, this actually really hurts. It's all right. I can get through it for the. Because, and the reason I don't want to switch hands is because I'm developing muscle memory in this hand, and I'll be able to do it much faster if I just keep doing it the same way each time. See, if I switch hands, oh, that hurts even more, dude. Just, so like for me, it's the tip of my thumb that has the callus, not the pad. So if you do it against this part of your finger, it's gonna really hurt. I mean, you can do one or two of them fine, but you try to do a full 110 of these. There's a knife guy on YouTube, his name's Tough Thumbs. That's why, and he even like started his own knife company, I think it's called Tough Knives. And I don't think people actually know about the moniker of Tough Thumbs anymore. He doesn't really upload videos, but I know. And he did have some pretty tough thumbs. Alright, so J-spacers. That was probably a terrible idea. Let's put most of them back. Whatever, good enough. Okay. Okay, so just put them, do one up close. Come on, dude. Put it in, it's like kind of sideways. That's all you gotta do. Now you could, and I do not believe it matters which orientation. So to get it back on, you kind of just get one side and then force the other side in. And now that's locked in, it's not moving. But I'm gonna put on all the spacers first. Dude, what is happening? There we go. I'm gonna put on all the spacers first. And then I'll put the click jackets back on. So, would I recommend that you go out and or that that you intentionally buy some MX Blues or whatever, Gateron Blue, just so you can make these. I mean, if you if you're really like dead inside, keyboard wise, anyways, and you just feel like nothing really excites you anymore, it might be worth trying. I mean, if you've never had Gateron Blues before, I feel like you owe it to yourself to just know what it's like. Some people like them. I liked them at first, but I think everyone likes them at first. But you just kind of slowly, your tastes change over time, A man grows. Let's see. Can move the desk up just a little bit, because I normally have the desk at when I'm at standing height with my standing desk. I usually have it like an inch. I have it at 45 inches, which is like just the right height for me to type on, I feel. But this is, I'm not typing right now, so I can be a little higher up. It only goes up to 46.4 inches. So I'm essentially, like, it's a good thing I'm not any taller than I am, because I'd be too fucking tall to be standing desk. I'd be so pissed. I am pretty tall, but I feel like my height is just the right, at least in the US. I still fit into most things, it's not like I don't have to buy special clothes or anything. It's all, I'm right at the upper limit of what society kind of has deemed a normal height, meaning that I still fit decently into most areas, most places. I don't hit my head on stuff. Flying on a plane is a little uncomfortable for me. I'm just a little bit too big to kind of. The last time I flew, I somehow ended up getting a middle seat. That was horrible, and the person next to me was like really fat. So I mean, I'm pretty fat, but she was really fat. So we were just like bashed up against each other the whole flight. It was cold out though. And the nice thing about fat women is that they don't smell usually. Fat guys can sometimes not smell very good, but fat women usually smell pretty decent. Women just, smell better than men, for the most part. There we go. Alright, so let's put the rest of these space ARs back. There we go. Alright, we are flying. I feel like this is going to be shorter than this might actually be shorter than a normal one of my videos. There we go. This would be a lot easier if I had smaller hands. Come on. What the fuck? I want this one going. Okay, there we go. Wait, fuck it up. This isn't focused. Yeah, okay. We need. There we go. So this video is, I don't believe it's in 4K. I'm not entirely sure how long this one's gonna go, so just in case it does go for, you know, an hour or two, which, I mean, we're like already halfway done, so probably not, but I keep running into storage issues with my phone. I just can't, I don't have enough storage on my phone to store like an hour and a half, a 90-minute 4K video. So, and like that, the video just ends up cutting while I'm filming it. So the idea is that for these longer ones, I'll do them in 1080p, and then for stuff like reviews, anything where I'm actually showing off, you know, intentionally trying to show something off, then I'll do those in 4K, and I'll try to keep them on the shorter side. Yeah, my hand's starting to cramp. I'm having to do all these fine movements. Alright. Almost done, almost done. Oh man, I hope I haven't done any of them upside down. No, that wouldn't work. Ah, that one kind of hurt. The absolute worst way to do this would be to, because when you lube, you only really need to lube this part, I think. I guess you could put a tiny drop on the side here, but you only really need, so you could lube these first and then put them all back together. That would be so gross. Okay, almost done. Almost done with step 3. Step 1 was open, step 2 was remove click jackets, step 3 is apply J spacers. And I believe they're just called J spacers because they're used for the Jailhouse Blue mod. And I don't know why it's called the Jailhouse Blue, why they're called Jailhouse Blues. Couldn't tell you. But if you just look up Jailhouse Blues on YouTube, you'll get like music, like Jailhouse Blues style music. There we go. So you want to put the legs facing the leaf, obviously. And then you put the angled part of the top away from the leaf. You put the part that has more room for the leaf. The part that clearly it was designed to have more room for the leaf, you put that one over the leaf. You guys probably don't even mansplain how to put switches back together. Especially because you already would have seen me do this like multiple times if you've been watching the channel for a while. I actually don't know how old the channel is at this point. Is it a year old? Let's see. What's my first video? June 3rd, 2020. Okay, so we're coming up on a year. It's May, almost May, so yeah, almost a year. So it'll be a year in June. It's cool. I don't really have anything special planned, but maybe I'll have a new item to show off by then. It'll be very nice. Hope I do not drop any of the springs and lose them. You know, when I finally have gone through and fully ball modded and lubed and filmed and J-spacered all of these switches, I think it is, I don't know, it's just very interesting the amount of different things you could do, you know, to a switch just to make it feel a little bit different. Like all the different, like just random pieces that will have been added to the switch by the time all the mods are complete. I think that's very interesting, you know. That's like truly like a custom thing. So I think that's cool. This is what a switch sounds like. Having used, I have the two ones I made in the last video in the Q1 right now. One is in the escape key and the other one's in the tilde key, which I use as a second escape key. And feel wise, I would say the bottom out of just a plain J-spacer switch without the ball mod, the bottom out's not that much different. It's a tiny bit mushier. It's just the sound. The sound is mushy. There's like almost no bottom out sound because it's so mushy. And like when I do a sound test, the sound that you'll probably be hearing most of is the topping out sound, not the bottoming out, which is not great, you know. That's definitely why the ball mod comes into play. The actual feel, I mean, obviously the ball modded one that I did is also lubed, so it's smoother. But this one, the J-spacer only mods are not exactly scratchy, but you know, just going back and forth, you do feel more friction. I would imagine it's a very similar feeling to lubed versus unlubed Topra. And I don't want to say definitively that these actually, you know, that these really are just like, you could just get these you could make these instead of getting Topra. I don't have my own Topra board, so I can't really do a direct comparison, and if I'm not able to do that, then I'm not going to make a definitive statement. I made some jokes in my last video about it, but you know, it has, to be fair, it has been a couple of months since I've felt a Topra, since I've typed on an HHKB. My coworker has one, but he moved to a different state. He still works for the same company, he works remotely. And he should be coming back to California pretty soon, actually, so. I may be able to do a side-by-side comparison. I don't think I'll be able to do a video on his keyboard because it's his keyboard, it's not mine. So I'm not going to ask him to borrow his keyboard just so I can film a video about it. It'd be kind of weird. Because like, I don't think he has another keyboard, so. He does. Yeah, I think he has a poker. He has a pre-built poker with browns. But the custom keyboard kit that I have coming is an HHKB layout. So if I made these and put them in that Rama board, it would kind of be like a super mega elite Topa HHKP. And I have been thinking, depending on how much I like these, like, you could improve upon these switches by using different housings. Oh, shit. So, like, for example, using a Gateron ink housing for the on the bottom or top. That would probably deepen the sound quite a bit, but I'm not sure if I want to start really Frankenizing these, you know. I did that once with cherry tops and Duroc linears, and didn't really, like, they're not that much better, so. Because when you do that, you essentially burn two switches to make the one, you know. I didn't mind doing that because I wasn't really using my cherries blacks, but fuck. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble. There we go. There we go. Almost done. And we're at 32 minutes. That's not terrible. Yep. Alright, we are nearing completion. Oh no! I hope that all picked up on camera. I managed to not drop any of the pieces. That was actually really cool. There we go. Come on. Oh. There we go. No, I missed a J spacer. Can't see it, it's out of frame. Right? There we go. I'm driving a Tesla in my complex. Let's just say you don't see very many Teslas in my complex, my apartment complex, or really in the greater neighborhood in which I live. Last one. Fuck yeah, okay. Okay. Wiggy. Alright, so now I gotta put those into the keyboard. We'll do the NK65 instead of the Q1. Right now, these are still both the U4 TV. I haven't used them in a while actually, so we'll just do the letters and the spacebar. There we go. Alright. Don't worry, one of them did kind of go flying, but did not exit the premise. Okay, let me vacuum this real quick. Oh, the switch came out with the spacebar. That's cool. And there we go. One more vacuum for getting me out of here. Make sure it's still in good focus. Alright. Now, I don't think I've ever put Gateron Blues in. Oh, that felt horrible. Please, okay. Good. I don't think I've ever actually put Gateron Blues in this keyboard. This is the keyboard that I got to upgrade the Lumiere. I did not like the sound of that one either. No, we're good. And you know, I mean, obviously, I wasn't using the Lumiere either. I was using Box J's, I think, by that time. I think I got Ergo Clears, and I was using those on the Lumiere, and that's what kind of made me realize that that board kind of sucks and sounds like shit. So I got a new one, which is this. It's not that the Lumiere sounds like shit, but it just like it didn't really have any, there was no like empty space in it, so the sound didn't resonate at all. It was completely flat. It was an acrylic sandwich mount, whatever you call that. It technically had an acrylic plate, but I mean, the switches didn't really, were barely held. They were held in by the pins only, pretty much. And you know, with clicky switches, you don't really notice. And the stabilizers were terrible, and like no amount of lube would fix the spacebar. So, because when I got the Ergo Clears, obviously those are a much quieter switch than I got them used, and they were lubed, so they're much quieter than blues or jades. And it was really making the spacebar rattles stick out, you know. So, and sure, around that same time, I was looking on Mech Market, and some guy was selling his NK65, and there was only one comment on the post, and it just said, you know, these are going back. Oh shit. I think this might be a bad pin. There you go. I don't think I should use the pin. The pin like completely bent over. It's like rolled over on itself. Yeah, you can see it. I don't know if that's bad. I don't want to like damage the socket. Let's try it, I guess. If it is bad, no, it works. Okay. Now let's put the keycaps back on. Alright. Damn, we're almost done. 43 minutes. Alright, so we're not exactly what I'd say ahead of schedule. We're about on pace with a normal video. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. Oh, sorry. Oh my god. It's so weird. Like, you probably can't even hear over the music. I'll turn the music off and I do a sound test. Go, and boom. All right, quiet you. So now, honestly, this is the sound that I associate with Topro, though. If you look up sound tests of HKBs on YouTube, like, more topping out than bottoming out. And now, so before I was using these on the Q1, which is gasket mounted, which has just, you know, a softer bottom out than this, which the soft bottom out doesn't normally feel mushy, but it just kind of, you know, helped, or just made these, just making something that's already pretty mushy, that's already fairly mushy, taking that and then making it softer on top of the mush, was kind of exacerbating it, you know. But okay, let's do some typing tests. Okay. Actually, I have another switch I could put. I have one in the Q1. Because that's the backspace, is a boba. I probably won't need to use the real backspace, so. Oh wait, that's the wrong key. So this is the one. That's the first one I made in the last video. So, I mean, there is a bottom out sound, but the topping out is just so much louder. So that's actually an interesting, I saw a video, I don't remember who it was by, but a few years ago about the ball bearing mod, not about the ball bearing mod, but utilizing the ball bearing mod. He essentially said that he likes the sound of mechanical keyboard switches, but he doesn't like the topping out sound. He wanted his keyboard to only have a bottom out and no topping out. You'd think, how do you do that? Well, you essentially need to silence the top out without silencing the bottom out. And how do you do that? Now that I think about it, you probably could just use a silent top on a regular bottom. Get like Cherry MX silent red top, put it on a Cherry MX red normal bottom or something like that. But what this guy did, he went full on, got Zeal Xylence, I believe, which are silent Zelios, silent tactiles. And he ball bearing modded, he ball bearing modded them. So he put the ball bearing in the bottom like I did in the previous video, which like I'm going to do with these next week. And essentially what that does is, so the switch itself is completely silent, you know, top to bottom. But then by putting the ball in the bottom, that shortens the travel, so you're not hitting the cushion, the silencing pads, and instead hitting the ball. And so the top out was silent, and the bottom out was not. It was cool. It was a cool idea. I didn't really notice that big of a difference. I don't think he was using like an amazing keyboard to show it off either. So, but it was an interesting concept, and it was something I never thought I would do. But now I'm kind of sort of getting into the ball bearing model with these things. So, all right, let's try another one. Hang on, I gotta I'm typing around. I complain about this every video, but I'm typing around the tripod. That's the backspace. As you can hear, I still have a little bit of rattle in this space bar, but I actually saw in the latest Glosses video, he mentioned that the keyboard he was doing, they put a bunch of foam underneath the spacebar wire. Oh shit. Which I guess you can't actually see from here, but that made the spacebar sound pretty good on that keyboard. It was a pre-built. So I might try that. Well, I was gonna try it, but I have to get foam first, which, you know, the foam that everyone uses, you can buy it, but it's usually just like foam that comes as part of packaging and when you buy stuff online. So I'm just gonna wait for foam like that to come to me naturally. I don't think I need to pay money for it, because you already are paying money for it, just in an indirect fashion. I accidentally did the regular backspace a few times. So that's the enter key, yes. Boba. Not a boba. Yes, boba. Yes, boba. So I mean, Topra does, it's not like incredibly smooth, it does have a little bit of texture. I wouldn't describe this as scratchy or frictiony. It's just more like, you feel like almost like a texture, which is kind of interesting. Obviously having it be smooth is probably better, but these aren't terrible. It's mainly the sound that's kind of, it's not bugging me, but I don't really care for the sound. Damn it. Okay, I gotta move. There we go. Woo! All right, that was good. 149. Okay. I'll do a couple of 60 seconds, and I think we'll wrap this up. I keep forgetting to turn in the rewards. I will turn them in. I have a bunch dating back from like a month. So, okay, let me do a couple of 60 seconds. And that will be it. Redo. Oh, I just... Just realized that I'm typing at about an inch and a half higher up than I normally do, which is, I think, why my kind of wrists were hurting just now. And I also realized I haven't been doing the mouse click too, so I'll do that. I'll do another couple 60 seconds and I won't talk. I'll use the mouse click as reference, and then we'll do the YouTube short. Okay, let me just stretch out the old joints. All right. All right, that was actually, that still kind of hurt, but it wasn't terrible. 116. All right. I don't know. That's it. My wrist is still hurting. Let me do. I don't normally do typing tests like this standing up for 60 seconds. So, like when I'm typing like emails or whatever, standing up, that's not a problem. But I think just going really hard like this, kind of hurting my wrist. But I'll do another 15. Let me actually do a little stretch my hand out for a sec. I just like, you're not gonna, basically just push. It doesn't matter what your elbow's doing, just push the fingers back with your one hand, and that'll really like stretch this part of your forearm. And do the opposite to get the top of the wrist. This one you have to have a straight elbow, and it's all about like curling the fingers up. You don't want to go too hard on this one because you'll kind of fuck your wrist up. But yeah, so you want your hand to be at 90, and then as you curl the fingers in, that's how you get the stretch. All right, that actually feels a little better now. All right. Ooh, okay, that was 123. It was alright. Okay, let me just go into full screen and let's turn in those things. All right. Damn it. Okay, I don't think I'm going to actually do them one by one because there are quite a few. Instead, I will just count them and try to guess how much the total is going to be. It's been a while since I've done this. Okay, so that's 6/88 on the 15. That's probably worth like 1,000. 8/5. Okay, so these are all 15s. 160, 160. Okay, so how many total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, I probably missed one or two there, but honestly, I feel like it's guessing an average of 1,000 per is probably like, actually, it might be even more than 1,000. Okay, I'm gonna guess 19,000. Oh, damn, you couldn't see it. 35,000. All right, well, that was way off. All right, well, look at that. We are under an hour. I'm going to finish this in under an hour, guys. Thanks again for watching. I actually, no, this isn't going to be under an hour. I would say, as far as what these switches feel like to me, obviously they feel like Topro. They honestly kind of sound like Topro, too, based on like most of the Topro sound tests I've heard. The difference, like these almost sound like silent switches to me. The feel, on the other hand, is very interesting. It almost feels like a rubber dome, kind of like Topro. So basically, Topros are like, they are rubber domes. There's the springs inside Topro switches do not provide any resistance. They are only for capacitance. Like the spring, they're called capacitive switches because the springs are capacitive and they like generate electricity. And as you press the switch down, more of the spring comes in contact with the circuit board and again completes the circuit. And once enough capacitance has been generated by the spring making contact with the PCB, I think it just goes directly onto the PCB. Once enough capacitance has been generated, then it registers a key press. But the springs essentially provide no resistance They're capacitive springs, not resistant springs. The resistance, all of the resistance, i.e. the weight, the switch weight, and the tactility, and the return and everything, it's all generated by the rubber domes on the toper boards. They are good rubber domes though. Like, they have a certain level of stiffness to them that most rubber domes don't. I've heard that over time the rubber will stiffen even greater, like to a greater degree. So like broken in Topra are more tactile than brand new. So I mean, I don't know, but having listened to my coworker type on his HHKB Silent, he has the Type S one. It sounds a lot like this, like not much bottom out, but a lot of topping out. And the ball bearing mod on this is not going to fix the topping out. Using lube and film will help the top out sound a little bit, but it's mostly it's more just like the ball having the improved bottom out from the ball makes the topping out less noticeable. Essentially, is what. This isn't going to be a good comparison because it's not the same board or keycap profile, but this is the ball bearing modded switch from the previous video. And you could hear it. There is an actual bottom out compared to this one. You hear it a little more just because the NK65 is a bit louder of a board than the Q1, but this has a nice solid bottom out, whereas this is just a little little less solid than. Oh my god, Q1 almost fell off the bed. It's a little less solid than most people would want it to be, so that's where the ball bearing mod comes into play. So, but the feeling though is not that much different. It's a little bit more solid with the ball, but the ball, for me anyways, is purely just to improve the sound. But you know, I'm going to use these. I'm going to try to use these all week next week at work, and I will report in the next video. I'm definitely, you know, even if I really like these, even if I become accustomed to the sound, I still will, you know, I still want to do the ball mod because they are better, you know, and just having that number of different customizations to be able to list off in a video description, I think will be really funny. You know, all the different mods I have on the Q1, force brake, tape mod, foamless, keycap profile, switch mods, lube, film, J spacers, ball bearings, Krytox 205 grade 0 on the housings, and Super Lube 105 on the springs. But that's coming up next week. I just kind of want to get to know these, you know. So I will report back. I will say, just right out the box, they feel, you know, pretty unique. The tactility is not very much. It's pretty similar to, like, I don't know, it's kind of almost like an MX Brown. It's a little more than an MX Brown and a little more rounded. But I think the rubber dome feeling comes from the J spacer being a squishy. The J spacer is what's applying tension to the J spacer. Essentially turns the click jacket into just a normal linear, a normal like tactile switch, with like, but with the caveat that it's not solid. Like it's got a squishy membrane essentially that's like keeping it together, and the squish is really what makes this feel like a rubber dome. It's just not solid the way that something like a, you know, tactility wise, I'd say this has a similar rounded feel to the Boba, but the Boba is just much more snappy and much more, you know, obviously a much more solid sound. Yeah. So, I mean, if I were in a setting where I needed to be quiet, though, these almost sound like silent switches, so these would be good. These would not, but these would be good. Okay, I think I will wrap it here. We can finish in under an hour and 6 minutes, I think. So thanks again for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you guys in the next week's video where we make more of these and an even more horrifically excessive customized. No, I missed the I missed the 106. Damn. All right, we're gonna finish this in less than 107. But no, that's the video for today, guys. Hope you guys having a good weekend. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday and Sunday. And I will be back next week for an even cooler version of the Switch. All right. Thanks again for watching. Bye.